What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Red and Gold Standard Podcast. My name is Zach Hernandez, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, Mike Andrews of Nothing But Niners. We got a great show planned for you guys tonight. Our guy, Matt Llewellyn, is working. He is hoping to join the back end of the show, but Mike and I are holding it down nonetheless. Great news. The 49ers have clinched a playoff spot with the Detroit Lions losing at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers, excuse me. So the 49ers didn't even play today, and they still got a dub. Great news. The 49ers look to improve to 11-4 as they take on the Indianapolis Colts in Indy tomorrow night on Monday Night Football. Before I toss it over to Mike, if you guys are watching on YouTube, do us a solid, hit like and subscribe, hop in the chat, subscribe to Nothing But Niners, subscribe to 49ers Hive. If you're watching on X, do us a solid, hit like and repost, hop in the chat. We want to hear your guys' thoughts. The 49ers are playoff bound at 10-4 with all of the losses and injuries they've had this year. It's almost a miracle. Mike, now that I got that out of the way, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm out here just chilling. New quarter zip from the wife, early Christmas gift in the building. What do you guys think out there, faithful? Huh? Check your boy out. Yeah. For those of you who are new to the quarter zip game, just make sure if you have chest hair that you don't snag one of those bad boys, because I made that mistake and did that. But no, I'm good, man. I'm having a good day. I'm having a good week. And I am on vacation starting now. So I am off for all of next week. I don't go back to work until the following Monday, and it's inventory time. So, oh man, I'm going to pay for being away, but it's all good, man. I'm excited, man.
Yeah. Vacation's great that time of the year. It seems like most Decembers, at least at work for me, kind of slows down. People take the last 2 to 3 weeks off. Not this year. It seems like everybody's still working. Everybody's still crazy. So I'm glad you were able to take some time off, spend it with your family. That's great. Hopefully everybody can be with their family this time of the year, because it's the time to do that. So, and hopefully the 49ers can give us an early Christmas gift tomorrow night on 12/22, 3 days away from Christmas. Let's get right into it, Mike. The Detroit Lions lose. I had tweeted out, I'm driving back from seeing my mother-in-law, and I had tweeted out, wow, they choked, can't believe it. Turns out that statement kind of applied to both teams. The Steelers were up 12 points with 5 minutes to go, and they somehow miss a 36-yard field goal and then allow the Lions to drive down the field, get a touchdown, and then they get the ball back after that, and still it's a 5-point game, get all the way down to the 1. They did score, but then it gets called back for an offensive pass interference. And they had 3 plays. It was a crazy ending. It really reminded me of the 2019 San Francisco at Seattle to end the season for the number 1 seed. Now, that much wasn't on the line, but what were your thoughts on that and just the 49ers benefiting from it?
Well, yeah, so cool, good. I'm happy it happened the way that it did, and I had money on that game, so I needed that decision at the end to go the way that it did. But, man, it took 5 minutes for the officials to make that decision. I was like, are they just trying to get out of here alive? Are they going to give them that touchdown? What is happening right now? I'd never seen officials deliberate that long. And then he comes out and was like, it's not reviewable, game's over. Right. Here. I was like, what the heck was going on? Why did it take them so long to make that call? And I thought it was going to be like how the Bears came back at the end. I'm like, all right, they got this here. The Packers, the Bears had a 4.8% chance of winning that game at the end, right? After the Packers did that pass, they go out of bounds. They get the 3 points. It's 16-6, and they had a 4.8% chance of winning. They score, they get the onside kick, and then like the walk off, like it was just like, wow, is this going to happen again? I thought I was going to see it happen twice in 1 week. I couldn't believe it. Like I was like, oh my God, is it going to happen again? But the Steelers held on, and it made my card hit. So that was one victory for me. Small victory, I'll take that. Right, small victory. $1 bet won me $25.
There you
right,
go.
so now I got one more going, and believe it or not, this was a 7-card parlay here, right? So I mixed it up with some boxing. I took Alicia Bumgardner. I took Anthony Joshua, the boxer, right? I took the Eagles. I took the Bills. I took the Bengals, the Texans, the Steelers. And I've got one more pending right now, and it's the Niners over the Colts. But here's my issue. I don't think the Niners are going to win this game, bro. And that's what's got me a little scared, if I'm being honest with you. I think I should cash out. They're giving me a cash out option. Again, this is another, I only do like $1 or $2 bets. So this is another
Same.
$1 bet for $27 or $2 bet for $27, right? But it's like, I just don't know that. So it's up to you. You got to convince me, man. You got to convince me. Do I cash out right now? The cash out option is $18. So I would make $16 on a $2 bet, which is still a win. A win is a win, right? But the question is, do I let this ride? So this conversation right here is going to determine whether or not I let this ride. So I'm looking forward to breaking this all down with you guys, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
A lot riding on it. But the best news is the 49ers, the lowest they can finish is 7th seed. They can only go up. I mean, they're right now, I think they're 6 right now, and Green Bay is 7, if I remember correctly.
I'll pull it up. Let's see where we are. NFL playoff picture.
I think the Rams are 5.
Yeah, Seattle's 1 right now.
Chicago
And
should be 2.
Yeah, Chicago's 2, Eagles 3, Rams 5. They don't have 4 listed for some reason.
It should be the Panthers.
These are the teams that clinch. That's why Panthers are 4, Packers are 7. So the Niners are 6 right now. My lucky number, by the way, 6 is my lucky number. And so, we knew before the outcome of this last the Lions losing, we knew that the Niners' destiny was in their own hands. You win out, you get the number 1 seed overall. We knew that already. But right now, it looks like 6 might be the floor if we can just win one more game.
Right.
If we win one of these next 3.
Yeah, which is what's helpful, because the Lions were kind of on our ass, like not quite, like they were 8-5, I think, or 8-6, 8-6 today, right? And then they fell to 8-7. If my math is correct.
Yeah. Yep. 8-7.
Okay, so they're 2 games behind the 49ers. They were 2 games prior to today. So the 49ers were like, they were a little bit above it, but now this gives them a lot more breathing room. They clinched a playoff spot. The Lions are fighting for that 7th seed where the 49ers are solid. Because there's always that terrible chance of what if they drop the last 3? It's like these games maybe aren't as tough as they looked 2-3 weeks ago, but they're still tough. They're still very good teams. I mean, this Indy team just took Seattle to the last second last week. So it's a chance that the 49ers have their hands full. They have one of the best running backs in the league with Jonathan Taylor. Great defense. They got a former 49er, DeForest Buckner, making his return. He's going to be fired up, trying to prove to John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, you made a mistake by letting me go. So we'll see. But the Bears, before we get into this game, let me ask you this. Did you watch the game last night, the Bears-Packers?
Hell yeah. Are you kidding me?
What an idiot Romeo Dobbs was, by the way. But did that game make you view the Bears any differently?
No. Soft as cheesecake.
Soft
as cheesecake. That's
Matt is the one that thinks we're going to lose to the Bears.
Yeah. So, this is the 6th game. I told you guys we're going to win 5 of the next 6. We ran off 5 in a row, right? Like this is where we are. This is the 6th game right here. That is going to, and that's another reason, like my gut has been telling me we're going to win 5 of the next 6. We won the 5 already, bro. Like my gut has been 100% all season long. It's never happened like this before. It's never happened like this. And so I'm hoping that you guys can help sway my opinion, man. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the Bears are tougher than what we thought. I don't think that they are. Right? I mean, it took an onside kick to be successful in order for them to win that game. I mean, what are the odds of that in the NFL? Right? Like, I mean, it's like a 5% thing. It's not something that's normally happening. And so I don't think that we have to worry about a team like the Bears. Now, the question is our defense as good as some of these other teams, right? And that's kind of where we are. Like, it was Bears-Packers. It was a division game, so they normally play each other close, right? Is our defense as good as the Packers? Or is our defense as good as the Packers against a division opponent, right? They know what they're going to do. They know the ins and out. You can sit here and say, well, it's a new coach, new team, but they know Ben Johnson and his style, right? They know Brian Flores because they also in that division. Like, so they know the offensive coordinator well. They know the defensive coordinator well. And it still came down to literally the last play of the game. And then you flip it to the Indianapolis side, right? This game that's coming up here. Is our defense as good as Seattle's defense, right? They went down to the wire with Seattle, and that's a top 5 defense, right? By all metrics, they're a top 5 defense. But I think that Seattle's given up a lot more points than what people are expecting. I think they turn over the ball more than what people are expecting. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how this one's going to go, man. It's going to be interesting to break it down.
The only thing I'll say is that top flight Seattle defense, they gave up 37 points to the Rams on Thursday night. 37 points. I mean,
yeah.
Boy, they're lucky that Sam Darnold and Rashid Shaheed took that punt back, and Sam Darnold found lightning in a bottle for the last 2 to 3 drives, because that game was over with. So, go ahead.
I've got a funny story about that game. So I got the Nothing But Niners group chat going, and I started out. I missed the very beginning of the game. And I texted the guys right away, and I said, guys, I have never seen Sam Darnold look good in a game. I haven't seen it, right? And so when I turned the game on, I believe it was like 7-3, and the Seahawks were winning. And then, like, I start watching, and Darnold throws a pick. And I'm like, okay. Like, see, I told you guys, he never has a good game. They were like, Mike, stop watching. So I start doing some other stuff. And it gets close to halftime, and I think it was like 14-13. I don't remember who was winning, but it was like, all right. When I turned back to it, I saw Sam Darnold get sacked a time or two. And it's like, all right, like, see, this guy is trash. Like, I don't want to watch anymore. So I move from my living room, and I head to my bedroom. But I'm doing other things in the middle. So I get in bed, and it's like the middle of the third quarter. I turn it on, and Sam Darnold, I think he threw another pick. I don't know. I don't remember what the stats were, but I'm like, every time I'm watching this guy, he sucks. So I texted guys. I was like, yo, I just turned the game back on. And he did it again. Like, this guy is trash when I'm watching him. I just don't ever see him play well, right? They were like, Mike, stop watching. We need them to win. I turned the game off, and I went to bed.
No.
I swear to you, I turned the game off. I went to bed. I wake up in the morning to see that they won. And I was like, holy smokes. So it's cool. Like, as long as I watch Sam Darnold play, he's not going to be good. Guys, I'm watching that whole game, week 18.
Yes.
No problems right now. You don't have to worry about it. We're going to win that game.
Yes.
Like, that's it. It's as simple as me watching. That determines the outcome of what Sam Darnold does. That's it.
That's hilarious. And if you guys think about it this way, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, this is what cranks me up too.
Right.
People are like, wow, like, we got to take care of the Bears first. How are you even looking further? I don't play. I can look to anything. Like, I can look to fucking February for all I care. I'm not on the team. Like, what I say has no weight over what the team does or if they overlook somebody or not. If the 49ers are able to win the next 2 weeks, then that week 18 game is likely going to be for the number 1 seed. And it will be just like 2019, but it'll be here. It'll be at home. And I can't imagine that game is not flexed into Sunday Night Football. Like, I cannot imagine any world where there is a better matchup on Week 17. 2 marquee franchises, division rivals, number 1 seed in the NFC on the line. The Super Bowl is here in Santa Clara. Like, there's so many storylines, and you know the league, the Shield loves those storylines. So, and then if they win that game, we're talking 3 dubs at home between them and Lombardi.
And this is, you know, I mentioned this to Tony, and I said I'll talk about it a little bit more here. I think the Niners need to lose. I think they need to lose. So listen to this, right? I think that if we were to step back and look at the Broncos and their defense, especially how they've played at home, I think if we look at Jacksonville and how their inconsistencies work, right? It's like Denver should have won that game, but they didn't. Did you know that the Denver Broncos were on an 11-game win streak going into that game?
Yep.
And so that's kind of my point,
Longest
right?
in the league.
If the Niners win out the regular season, that's 10 wins in a row. That's not good. To me, that's not good going into the playoffs. I don't like the idea that means that we would have to win 13 games in a row to win the Super Bowl. 13 is an unlucky number. It's also Brock Purdy's number, though. Maybe
that's my dad's lucky number.
Right, that's what I'm going to say. Maybe I need to but 13 is known as an unlucky number. There's literally buildings that if you get into an elevator, there's no 13th floor. It doesn't exist. Did you know that?
Yeah. Every building, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like it's that's how unlucky that number is that buildings don't put a 13th floor in their buildings. It's insane to me. Anyways, so it's like you want the Niners to win 13 in a row. I think it's better to get a loss out the way because we adjust better after a loss. I prefer us to lose to either the Seahawks or the Bears because there's a chance that we would have to play them again in the postseason and we'll learn from our mistakes. I prefer us to do that. But I think this game might be the one. I really do think this game might be the one.
But that also includes them going on the road then. You don't have these home games to stay.
So what happens is you can still get a home game and not be the number 1 seed.
Right. It's just your chances are a lot less likely.
Yeah, we could be the 5th seed. You could see whoever is coming out of the NFC South losing, and then now all of a sudden we got the next home game, right? Like there's scenarios where we could still get 2 home games in the event that it happens, right? Seattle loses in the first round to the
Packers or some shit.
Packers, yeah, right. Like the Lions or the Packers or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that easy to me. That's how I see it, right? We can still get 2. We might have to do our first game on the road, but the last 2 can be at home.
So I think I get where you're coming from, and my logic is similar, but to me, I want to apply that to Eddie Pinheiro only. Dude hasn't missed a kick. I want him to miss a kick in the next 3 weeks. I don't want it to be, 17-15 and the Niners are down and he's going to kick it and he's made 45 kicks in a row, whatever the hell the number is, and then that's the one. I'm knocking on wood right now, so I want him to get that miss out of the way. Now, to be fair, he did miss last week, but there was a penalty, and I think that's happened 2 or 3 times where he's missed and there's a penalty. So technically he's had a miss and he's gotten it out of his system, and it didn't count. It's kind of the best of both worlds. So I don't know. But I think that it wouldn't be asking too much of the Niners to one game at a time. Because if you've won 12 in a row, the next game has nothing to do with the last 12. It's just one, it's just another game. You just go out there and win it.
I'm just talking odds. The odds of a team winning 13 in a row is just really tough to do. I saw that last comment there by Steven Rodriguez. Is what has to happen to get the number 1 seed. It's simple. Just win the next 3. Yep. If we win out, we get the number 1 seed. It does not matter what any other team does. We control our own destiny. That has been how it is since we won the last game. So as long as we win these next 3, the Niners get the number 1 spot.
Yep. Also, my dad was born on the 13th, so he's always he texts me all the time, lucky 13, lucky 13. He's texting me right now saying it's our lucky number, lucky 13. So trust me.
Shout out to Pops watching out there. I like it, man. I like it. I see the 13 Brock Purdy over your head right there. I mean, listen, man, sometimes it's not just about, how good or how bad you are. You need luck to be on your side, and let's take that curse and flip it around. You know what I'm saying? So let's do it, man.
Yeah.
1-3
I think it would be great. I think it would be great, and I think the 49ers talk about a storybook type of season. And can I just say, a week removed from, the meme of that picture of the soldiers reading the newspaper and the headline on the newspaper. Do you know what I'm talking about, Mike? You know what the headline says?
Yeah.
Hitler dead. That's how I feel after last week. Now, it has nothing to do with the injury to Mahomes. Oh. But the Chiefs are out. The Chiefs are out of the playoffs. And what was the one year that the Chiefs didn't go to the playoffs that the Niners didn't? The Rams went, and they got to beat the fucking Bengals. The Bungles. Yeah. Now, the 49ers, every time they've been there, have had to go up against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
This is the year.
Our only losses.
This is the year. There is no Chiefs coming out of the AFC. There barely is a team that separated themselves from the pack. You have the Broncos. They got whooped today by the Jags, which the 49ers, did they lose to them in week 4? Yes. Brock Purdy had one viable foot, and it took a penalty on a BS interception that got called back and a punt return for a touchdown for them to lose. The Texans, sure, they have a fantastic defense, but I think if their offense is up against our healthy offense, I take the 49ers offense. So whoever's coming out of the AFC, I think the 49ers have a solid shot at. I don't want to face Josh Allen just because he's an alien, and I don't think that the 49ers' chances are good against him. But they just got to take care of business.
And see, I even disagree with that. I think that Bills defense is not the same as what it used to be.
No, I agree with that.
I think you could put up 35, 40 points on that team.
But Josh Allen, I think, could put up some points on us. And that's just that type of – I think he's the best quarterback coming out of the AFC. And I think that if he's not in the championship game or moving to the Super Bowl, that's a huge loss for the Bills this year. Because who has been their kryptonite? Kansas City. Kansas City's not here.
That's very true.
Cincinnati Bengals, they're not here. Baltimore probably isn't going to make it. Now, they may, but they probably aren't. So the three teams that have been your Achilles heel for the past decade, it seems, none of them are going to be there. They're all newcomers. So I think this is their chance to come out. And on the flip side, we talked about the Lions earlier. Boy, did they miss their shot the last 2 years. Boy, did they miss their shot being up 17 points against the 49ers and the NFC Championship with 30 minutes to go. And they choked that away. Last year, when the 49ers weren't in the playoffs, they had the Commanders at home, and they got whooped. And Dan Campbell said it best after they lost to the 49ers. This may have been our only shot. There's no guarantee that we get back here. It's not guaranteed to anybody. They were 30 minutes away from punching their ticket to the Super Bowl, and they couldn't do it. And look at them now.
And they need some help. They're on the outside looking in. According to this NFL playoff picture, they have a 5% chance of making the postseason right now. 9%. I apologize. 9%. They need to win out the next 3 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks. And then they have to have some help along the way. They need the Packers to lose also. So, I mean, they might not even make the postseason this year.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. With all that talent. I mean, I know they had a ton of injuries on defense, but they did last year too. And they made the playoffs last year. So,
but so to turn the page to this upcoming game, and I'm not telling you where to go in the show.
Yeah.
We're 23 minutes in, for lack of better, just rounding up. And we've talked about playoffs. We've talked about opponents. We've talked about Super Bowl. We've mentioned the Colts once. And this is what happens when teams get complacent, when they're happy that, we made the postseason, right? The Niners posted, clinched, and they got their little post on social media and all that stuff. The players are doing the same thing, by the way, right? The players are like, oh, man, we made it to the playoffs. All of a sudden, this game in their minds becomes less important. And that's another reason I think we could lose this game, bro. I think we could lose this game. And I can't wait for us to start breaking this down. I think that the Niners are already over. I heard you. You said, I can overlook whoever. I can look ahead all I want, right? But the players are humans. The coaches are humans. Like, this is what happens, bro.
Well, okay. I don't think what we say on the podcast has any sort of weight on how the 49ers prepare for this game mentally. And I also don't think if they see a post, reposting just like that takes that much away from them mentally or even
being ready.
Right. So if they see it on their feed, maybe they have who knows how the 49ers operate. Maybe they have a group chat that they send out a link and they say, can you guys repost this? Can you show this to your story? And they do. Like, it's a simple, and who's to say that they even are doing it themselves? They all probably have some sort of coordinator, specialty or social media coordinator or manager or PR rep that is resharing it. So I don't think that that's too big of a worry for me. I think that this team, they're not the juggernaut that they have been in years past. I think they understand they need like 110% of everyone's focus and effort from here on out. Like, there are no drop games. The drop game was in Houston a few weeks back. Like, that was the one, and they weren't even healthy then. Like, that was the one where they clearly did not have everything ready to go and dropped the ball. So this game, you get an extra day of prep. You beat the Titans, pretty handedly last week, and it's a Monday Night Football. The thing that worries me the most is Purdy on Monday Night Football, because it's like a weird trend where he does not play his best on Monday nights.
I looked up the stats tonight, and I didn't know it was as bad as it was on Monday nights. And it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. But again, this is the season of overcoming all of those trends, right?
Yeah.
Like, we went from having one of the worst field goal kickers to one of the best field goal kickers. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
This
Special
is the
teams
season
units.
of the special team unit making the whole flip, right? This is the season of our offensive line is terrible, and all of a sudden, like, we got one of the best offensive lines if you go back to week 11 and forward, right? Like, this is all of a sudden one of the highest scoring teams since week 11. All of a sudden, we're turning that page. We're flipping the script, right? Like, this team is all of a sudden becoming what people thought we couldn't be. Now, the defense still has their woes. They still have their issues. I'm not going to beat around the bush with that stuff, right? We still struggle against the run. We struggle in tackling. But the Niners, and I'm sure we're going to get to it, are getting a lot of pieces back on the defensive line. It's one thing to go out there and play 68 snaps out of 72 if you're on the defensive line. But now all of a sudden, you got 4 defensive linemen that are going to be able to help in rotation, right? All of a sudden, you got 2 more linebackers coming in there, right? Now all of a sudden, it's like, hey, you need a breather, come on out. We got a healthy set of legs and guys right here that are ready to go out there and help, right? All of a sudden, the players that were starters are now back to being depth, right? Our third and fourth stringers, who were first stringers because of the injuries, are now back to being second and third stringers, right? So now all of a sudden, it's like, all right, here we go. But there are some injuries that, are a little bit prevalent. We're going to break all that stuff down in this episode. This is going to be a good show, I promise you guys.
Well, why don't we start with the injury report?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is courtesy of 49ers Web Zone. So for the 49ers, obviously Ricky Pearsall got hurt last week, unfortunately, on that hip drop tackle, and then he later fell and banged his knee and re-aggravated that PCL injury, so he's out. He didn't practice all week.
They did fine that player for the hip drop. There was no flag, and it should have been. Yeah. When you see the fine, that means it should have been a flag, but they did end up fining that player.
Yeah. Total BS. First play of the game. Total BS. Why make it a penalty if you're not going to call it? And it's that player's second one, by the way, this year. So he's out. Renardo Green is out. He's been dealing with that neck injury pretty much all year. I don't know if something happened last week to where he re-aggravated it or if it was in practice, but he's out, and Darrell Luter will start in his place. And Curtis Rourke, the rookie quarterback, he's not going to play. Obviously, they just activated him to get some practice in. So, and questionable is defensive end Yetur Gross-Matos. He was activated off of IR. That would be a huge go if the 49ers can get him back, just because he's been able to get pressure in the very limited snaps that he has been active for. Mike, shaking your head. I know you're going to say he's not going to play much, if at all, but this team needs any help they can get getting pressure. They have 16 sacks on the year.
Let me ask you the same question I asked Tony. I'm actually going to lower the number. I won't tell you what I asked Tony. 19 and a half snaps for Yetur Gross-Matos. Over or under, what are you taking? 19 and a half snaps.
Probably under. If
That's
you can get one sack, I'll take it.
I'm not looking for sacks. We didn't have any last game. I'm looking for pressures. Just
true.
Get on someone. Just put a hat on the head. Like, get there, make some pressures, make some impressionable moments in the game. But I'm not counting on anything from him right now. Not his first game back. I'm not.
Yeah.
But again, depth and rotation. It will help later on. It'll pay dividends later, even if he can't do it. It's just a couple less snaps that someone else has to take. It's 15 to 20 snaps less that someone else has to take. So I like it.
Exactly. And like I said, they need all the bodies he can get because this defense is hurt. They're down and out. Okay. That means, though, there are 2 names that we don't see on here, and that they are Tatum Bethune, the linebacker, has returned. He's good to go. And Sam Okuwanu, the other defensive end, who is good to go. I think he had a high ankle sprain in Arizona, I want to say.
That's the one that we need back right there. He was the team's leading sack guy before he got injured, right? Like, he's the one that we need. It went from Huff being the sack leader to Sam O being the sack leader, and now I don't even know who. I don't know. I think person with the most sacks is 4. Cleveland Farrell. He needs one more to break his season high record, right? So I mean that's it right there. But Sam O is the guy that we need for sure.
And I think that's a huge addition for the 49ers. because like you said, he had really been growing into his own. And anytime I think about this man, it really just makes me sad because imagine this team with a healthy Nick Bosa, a healthy Michael Williams, and you get Samo as a rotational guy, you get Bryce Huff, on the opposite end. I saw the vision, and you just look no further than the first 3 weeks. It looked good. So okay, now for the Colts have out Sauce Gardner with a calf injury, Anthony Gold with a foot injury, Anthony Richardson, the quarterback, still dealing with an eye injury, safety Daniel Scott. I believe they added a offensive lineman to this as well. Let me see, 49ers Colts.
Yeah, so the other tackle was ruled out. I think it was earlier today.
Yeah, Bernard Raymond.
Yeah.
Raymond. He was ruled out, the left tackle. He's here as questionable. So DeForest Buckner is returning per the Colts. He's been dealing with a neck injury. He was activated off IR. He's going to make his first return tomorrow night. And Raymond is out with an elbow injury. So we'll see if the 49ers can take advantage of these injuries that the Colts are dealing with. Whereas on their end, they don't have as many for the first time in a while. But they're key injuries. I mean, those are two starters. And Renardo Green and Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, so the Niners are going to be without – I don't know which side you want to start on, but no Pearsall. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Pearsall doesn't do a whole lot. Like, last game was his best game, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so what? But, right, like, he's someone that you have to plan against. This 49ers wide receiving core, without him, I'm biting my nails here. I'm nervous now. You ever see the Tom and Jerry episodes where they're biting their nails and shooting all over the place? Like, that's how I'm feeling right now. What's your level of comfort with this 49ers wide receiving core? I mean, we're talking Juwan Jennings. I know a lot of people want to say Kendrick Bourne next, but is he even next up? Is it Juwan Jennings and then Demarcus Robinson, right? Is Juwan Jennings, Demarcus Robinson, and Sky Moore ahead of Kendrick Bourne on the depth chart now? Like, how does it look?
It's weird. By the way, let me answer this real quick. Filthy Casual fan. Is Ward playing? Thought he was out in a concussion. Travaris Ward was placed on IR with his third concussion of the year. So tough to see. Hopefully he's doing all right. He's had a pretty tough go since going to Indy. This wide receiver core. I mean, you got Juwan Jennings, who's really kind of blossomed since Brock Purdy's returned. He was doing well with Mac Jones too, but the red zone threat. I think he has 6 touchdowns in 5 games since Brock Purdy's returned. So that's nice. It is confusing, questionable as to where Kendrick Bourne went in this offense and why he can barely get a target. He seems like he's become an afterthought for Brock Purdy for some reason when he was dealing, man. I mean, he had 2 weeks of 140 receiving yards back to back, and it was really impressive. And for some reason, when Brock Purdy came back in, I don't know if he never had that chemistry with him. Mac Jones played with Bourne in New England. They had their best season together. Maybe that's just it. I don't know. But there's been enough time in practice to where you would think that chemistry could have been developed. Jordan Watkins is still being, getting game days inactives, the rookie receiver. So I would have to guess if without Ricky, you got Juwan, Demarcus Robinson, KB, and then Sky Moore. I don't know if I'm forgetting any, but I think that's it. And did they activate Jacob Cowing's practice window? Do I remember seeing that correctly?
Yeah, his practice window is now open for the Niners. Some people are talking about whether or not he's going to come back. It's undetermined, obviously, right? But, I mean, Watkins can't get in.
Exactly.
Watkins can't get in. We were talking about Turner, who was the special teams guy. Hold on. Is it Malik Turner, right? Am I saying the wrong name?
Is he still on the? I don't.
He's a practice squad guy, but he has a special teams role.
I remember the name.
Tony is saying that he thinks that there's a possibility he could be elevated for the practice squad. So on the practice squad, there's Javon Baker, who we just recently signed from the New England Patriots. Junior Bergen is also down there as well on the practice squad. And then Malik Turner. So those are the 3 wide receivers on the practice squad. Now on the actual active roster, the names that we didn't mention, I think we did say Sky Moore, right? I think we mentioned Sky Moore. Yeah. You got Jordan Watkins, who's on the active, Jawan Jennings, Kendrick Bourne, Ricky Pearsall, Demarcus Robinson. That's where it stops. So, and Kyle has made it abundantly clear, like, Watkins can't even get ahead of anybody else. Now, Watkins spoke to, I don't know if it was the San Francisco Chronicle. It was one of those subscription-based pages. And so I got a little hack. Never mind. I don't know if I should share that or not. But there's a way that you could go ahead and, like, fuck it, I'll tell you guys. I take screen grabs. Like, if you click the article before they ask you to pay or subscribe, like, boom, it's clear, and then you can take a screenshot, right? And then what you do again is you back out, you go back to it, you scroll down, take a screenshot. Like, so I read the article, and he's basically saying, like, yes, Kyle is telling me that I have to, like, you know, show that I'm better than the guys ahead of me on the depth chart, but I don't have that opportunity because I'm on practice squad and I'm emulating the opponents all the time. I never get to show what I can do in our version of this offense. So the kid's like, he's in a tough spot, and I feel for him. You know what I'm saying? It's like what? How do I show that I'm better than those guys in our offense if you never put me in our offense? I'm always in the scout team. So, you know, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. He's not playing for the Niners this year, guys. Like that. That's what I've determined. He's not getting in there.
Him or Jordan James can't stiff the field. By the way, speaking of rookies, Nick Martin was placed on IR due to the concussion. Which is really, you know, concerning to see. It's unfortunate. This concussion happened in Cleveland, if I remember correctly, right?
I don't remember when it happened.
I'm pretty sure it was before the bye week, and it's been weeks. I mean, that was 3 weeks ago. That, let's see. I'm pretty sure it was in Cleveland, but it's really unfortunate to see because they were finally getting him some action. He was looking good on special teams, but he's on the injured reserve list now, and he is eligible to come back for the playoffs if the 49ers can get him back for then. But he's going to miss at least, I think it's 4 weeks, right? That you have to miss if you go on IR. So we'll see. But just this draft class, man, Mykel Williams would have been the best to contribute. Unfortunately, he got hurt in New York. Upton Stout is still contributing. But outside of that, I mean, there really isn't.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. CJ West is contributing.
Okay, you're right. You're right. The two D line. I forgot about them. The two D linemen are doing very good. Doing very good. Everybody that they drafted, other than that, that's not true because it really is mainly Watkins and James. And
Connor
Martin.
Colby might be up in this game, right? Like, because we don't know what's going on with Burford. He's like kind of questionable, although he wasn't listed.
He wasn't on the injury report.
He wasn't on the injury report, but there were people saying that, you know, it might be a rotation there going. I don't know why that's like coming out right now, but they're saying like Connor Colby is a guy who's back in the mix now and all that. But, you know, I mean, I think that we look pretty good with Burford. I wouldn't mess with that. If he's healthy, you let him go out there and you let him play. You know what I'm saying?
So, according to Matt Barrows, Tatum Bethune, Spencer Burford. We didn't talk about Jordan Elliott. Jordan Elliott is back too. Sam Okuwani, we're full go today, and this is Friday, or Saturday. Yeah, this was yesterday. They're not going to be on the Monday injury report. D. Winters was added on Friday with the wrist issue, but he is a full go. He will also not be on the report. So that's good. That's good to see. We didn't talk about Jordan Elliott. He got hurt
Siegel
right before the game last week.
Yeah. And
Kevin Givens had to get a start in his place. Jordan Elliott is a big contributor to the middle of that defensive line. He's a big body. He's great against the run. He's much better against special double teams, in my opinion, than Givens. So that's a big get back for the 49ers. Jay Ellie, Siegel's doing well on special teams. They threw him out there to start, and he's got some speed, but boy, was he raw, and he was getting picked on early in the year. So
yeah, he was. Yeah.
But apparently he's thriving on special teams.
I mean, and that's something that we have to, like, the Niners special teams unit is getting better and better week after week. The Niners special team, I don't know which unit is improving more, right? The Niners offensive line week after week or the Niners special teams units. Like, those two little units are neck and neck to me as far as improvement goes. And I really like what I'm seeing from both of those teams, both of those units right now. The offensive line, man, I mean, damn, there's some fortitude being built right there, man. Trent Williams is rallying those guys, and he's becoming that leader. Once he takes the emotion out and stops trying to fight people when the Niners are down, he is a real leader. He's always a real leader. That's going to come out the wrong way. They're going to clip that up and spin that the wrong way. But when the Niners are down or when they're trailing or when someone's getting the best of them, he gets really emotional, wants to start pushing people and fighting people and all that shit. But that offensive line is really proving their point, and I love the eye that Brant Boyer has with this special teams unit, man. I mean, he is putting people in the right place, and they are making plays time and time again. So I'm all for it, man. I like it.
Do you remember back in August when we sat here and did the show? We were like, get Sky Moore out of there. Like, let's get Junior Bergen returning kicks. Sky Moore isn't it. Boy, am I glad they stuck with him and they allowed him to kind of get more comfortable and get a feel for this special teams unit, because he's turned into the best returner in the league, and it really is good for the 49ers. Did you see last week, I don't know if we talked about this in the postgame show, they were trying to kick away from him, so they lined up Brian Robinson and Sky Moore right behind each other, and I think they still kicked it into the end zone or something like that. So they're trying to kick away from Sky Moore because that's how effective he is.
Yeah, no touchdowns, by the way, but big returns.
Should have
40 to 60 yards. Yeah. He runs out of gas right at the end or something like that. No, Christy says Mike hated. No, it's still there. It's still there a little bit, because I feel like he's also he's as likely to get a touchdown as he is to bobble a ball and turn it over. I just don't. It's just something that's not consistent enough for me when I'm watching him that makes me still nervous when he's back there. And I hate to be that guy. I really do. But I still I see what I see. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not 100%. But he has definitely You're right. He has definitely improved. More opportunities, more comfortability, and more consistency. So
for sure. I mean, it seems like it's once a game now. He has a game-changing play on special teams. So
correct.
At least a 40+ yard return. It's really impressive what he's been able to do. I wish you could get that and put that in the offense, but for some reason it's only on kickoffs or punts. But I'll take it. I'll take it where you can get it, because this is a 3-facet game. And for too long has special teams been overlooked. So, all right, let's get into this game, Mike. Offensively, the Colts, their first game with Phillip Rivers last week, they moved the ball, I guess you could say. He was 18 for 27, 120 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His average was 4.4 yards per attempt. It's clear what the game plan is. Quick throws. And something about this previous generation of quarterbacks, if you're going to zone against him, he's going to dice you up. He knows what to do. He's ran this offense with his high school team that he coached. He's very familiar with it. I think the 49ers could be in for a tough match, to be honest with you. They struggle getting home on quarterbacks as it is. Now, maybe it'll help because he's a statue and he's 45 years old. But if he's getting that ball out in 2.5 seconds, there really isn't much they could do even if they had Nick Bosa. And Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this defense plays zone way more often than they play man. We saw what happened last week when Saleh tried playing man and they got burnt by Tennessee, the worst offense in the league. So what kind of threat does Phillip Rivers in that passing game pose? And how concerned are you with the 49ers' defensive ability to stop it?
Yeah, so I'm very concerned. And this is not just me trying to be right on my 5 of the next 6. This is game 6, by the way. So it's not just me trying to be right on my 5 of the next 6 prediction. What this is, you saw Phillip Rivers week 1. And we know that with more time, more practice, you actually went out there and did the game. Now it's all right, what can we learn from that and how can we improve? It's the improvements that I'm worried about, right? There weren't too many downfield ops for the Colts. I think that changes in this game. I think Phillip Rivers realizes I didn't have to get rid of that ball as quick. I could have waited another half a second to let something develop and maybe take a shot. And that's where I'm concerned. The Niners defense, if the Niners played the Colts last week, with it being his first game and as many underneath throws as he threw, I would say that the Niners are going to win this game without a problem. No problem at all. As bad as our safeties are in coverage, there was no need for them to drop back and run with anybody based off what we saw last week, right? It wasn't until they got desperate he started heaving some down the field, right? It wasn't until they absolutely needed to do it. That's not what their game plan was. But he's got another weekend. Now he knows, all right, my arm felt good after almost 30 attempts. I think I can handle a little bit more, right? They might be willing to open it up a little bit more. And I don't think that there is a way to measure what another week in the system with those weapons means to Phillip Rivers, right? Now, the flip side is, and here's the blessing here, right? And I never like to celebrate injuries, but both their tackles being injured and out, maybe they say, you know what? We got to kind of execute that same exact game plan. We got to stick with the quick passes. That benefits the Niners. But God forbid they like their tackles. God forbid that this Niners pass rush just doesn't get home in the first half. They're going to flip that switch in the second half, and Phillip Rivers can absolutely start picking apart this 49er secondary. It's not that good. It's not that good anymore. The Niners secondary was good when we were getting some consistent pressure. Forget the sacks. I'm not talking about sacks. I'm talking about pressure. Getting the quarterbacks to move, and you got a stationary guy like Phillip Rivers out there, the opportunity would be there. We're not even getting a lot of pressures. Forget not having any sacks last games. The Niners had, 3 pressures all game last game? Like, it was pretty fucking ugly, if we're being honest. And so if that's how it looks, you got Phillip Rivers back there, he might be willing to take a gamble or two. And if he takes a gamble or two in the first half, you best believe there's going to be more coming in the second half. And that's not going to bode well for us.
Yeah. Mark Cisneros.
I agree, Mark.
Opposing team O-line injuries don't mean anything.
We never take advantage of it. There's never been a moment. I've seen teams. Let's use the Rams for an example, right? Aaron Donald, defensive tackle, except for when there's a backup tackle in the game, they'll move him over and make him an edge guy. The Niners don't possess that. We don't have that. We've never done that. It's just not in our bag. I don't care who I'm talking about when Robert Saleh was here. I'm talking about when D'Amico was here, right? It does not matter. Sorensen, none of it makes a difference. Holy shit. The Ravens just turned the ball over on my screen. I'm late. I'm sorry.
I have it recorded, so don't spoil it for me.
Oh, okay. I won't say the score.
Score-wise, yeah. Score-wise. No, you're good.
I won't say anything. But yeah, it's like we never take advantage of the other team's injuries, right? Like, when do we get to do it? Look at all these reinforcements we're getting back on the defensive line. This is the week to do it. Robert Saleh, please, for the love of God, you and Chris Kosarek, lock yourselves in a room. Study the film of whoever's going to be these replacement tackles and take advantage of it. Stunt that way. Make these guys sweat. Do something like stunt to the outside. Take the defensive tackles and stunt them around the tackles. Like, do something to generate some pass rush. Please, for the love of God. I just hope that we can do it. I don't think we will. I think we're going to play a lot of four-man, the down 4 linemen, and we're just going to go head up, and we're going to put 7 guys back in coverage. I really think they're going to play that way the entire game. I really do.
And I think they're going to need to because the way that, like I said, he's still cerebral in his pride. Like, Phillip Rivers didn't win a ring, but he still was one of the best quarterbacks of his generation, right? He knows what he's doing. He appears to still have the arm strength, at least, to get the ball there. Did they look like some ducks? Yes. I think, and maybe I'm getting into my prediction a little bit, but I think there's going to be some chances for some interceptions here, and the 49ers need to actually fucking catch the ball when it's thrown to you. We've seen 2 or 3 dropped interceptions over the past couple of games. If it's thrown to you, catch the ball. Catch the ball, because
the last couple of games, play. The last game there was 2 or 3 interceptions by itself. Just this last game that they had, and both of the safeties dropped them. Like, it's like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, you got an opportunity here to put this game away, and they just, we won, but it's not because the defense forced the turnover. It's insane to me.
They had so many opportunities. The ball will literally land in their gut. Apparently, nobody but Jair Brown and DeAndre Lenore can catch a pass on this defense, unfortunately. But I think that if they're able to bottle up this running game, which Jonathan Taylor's one of the best in the league, but since Daniel Jones got hurt, and even before that, since Daniel Jones started playing poorly, Jonathan Taylor's EPA has gone down. I mean, last week he had 25 carries for 87 yards. Is that a little over 3 yards a carry. It's not that impressive. And I know he's going up against Seattle's defense, but still,
But Seattle's defense is significantly better than ours against the run.
3.48.
And that's the thing. So they don't miss as many tackles as the Niners, and they're better overall. Gap integrity and things of that nature. We aren't that. We haven't been that. Now, I will say this. That's also with the Niners not having reserves on that defensive line. They're getting a lot of them back. I think the tackling improves just because of sheer numbers. You, Zach, you're exhausted. Come have a seat. We're going to put someone else out there now. And he's got fresh legs, fresh arms. He's not winded. He can make those tackles now. And so it's a big difference. It's a big difference.
Not only that, you talk about the addition of the defensive line. Tatum Bethune. Tatum Bethune has played well for the 49ers. He hasn't played Fred Warner level, but he's played well. I would argue above average, at least average. And Curtis Robinson, and I said it when he got hurt, Curtis Robinson is a huge drop-off. And it's kind of expected. He's a special teams linebacker that had never started a game or even taken a snap at middle linebacker, and they threw him in there and said, hey, I'm sorry, you got to go play. It's kind of expected that guy's going to be a liability. You're not supposed to have 3 starting caliber middle linebackers on your team. No team does it. So
right.
It's a huge boost to get Tatum Bethune back in both the passing and the running game. So I do
no spoilers in the chat.
No spoilers. I do think that's going to help bottle up Jonathan Taylor and really force the Colts to beat you through the air. Now, they have 2 wide receivers that are big play threats. And they have Alec Pierce, and I'm not being disrespectful. I cannot forget the other guy's name, but don't they have a second one?
I mean, you can't remember the other guy's name.
They have 2 receivers that are I always see catching deep passes. Pittman. And they also have Tyler Warren, the rookie star tight end. So it's not like saying bottle the running game and make Phillip Rivers beat you through the air is a foolproof plan. They have good weapons on the outside. So the 49ers are really going to need to play well in this game to walk away. And this is going to be a win if they leave Lucas Oil Stadium. Is this still called Lucas Oil Stadium? If they leave Lucas Oil Stadium, they will have earned that win, regardless of what Phillip Rivers or whoever's playing quarterback, because it's a tough out.
There's a guy, you named some, threats and weapons that they have, but the Niners, that's not where they struggle, right? The Niners don't really struggle against the star players, right? I'm not worried about Tyler Warren. And no disrespect at all. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to, they're going to do their thing. I'm not worried about Alec Pierce. I'm not worried about Josh Downs. There's this guy, he's a rookie, Laquan Treadwell. He's a 6'2" rookie. This guy is slippery.
What?
What?
He's not a rookie?
Laquan Treadwell's not a rookie?
Is there a new Laquan Treadwell?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. He's not. Former first-round pick. I don't know why I said rookie. I see what...
I was like, that's a very specific name. I don't think there's another one.
Yeah, no. Again, another number 13. We started the show with 13 talk, right? This guy right here, he's the guy that's going to catch the Niners off guard. It's like when Addison went off and no one expected it, right? That's what's going to happen here. It's going to be a Treadwell type of game where it's no one's worried about him. No one's planning on him being the threat. And he's going to quietly have the best 5 catches of the entire game. He's going to have 4 of them that are going to convert first downs and 1 for a touchdown, right? It's going to be quiet as shit. I'm talking 5 receptions, 62 yards, and a touchdown. It's those are going to be the ones that are the most damning for the 49ers. I don't know why I said rookie. I apologize, guys. Please don't kill me for that. I apologize about that. This guy's been in the league for 10 years. Yeah, I don't know why I said rookie at all. But he's the one that I'm kind of worried about. It's not these big names. The Niners know how to plan for the big name players. They know how to plan to eliminate a guy like Tyler Warren. They know how to take away a Pittman, right? They're well aware of that. It's the forgotten guys, and that's what we don't do well on the backside. It has to be our stars, or does it? Maybe I'm wrong when I assess the 49ers, right? Who knew Kendrick Bourne was going to be the guy when he went off in those 2 games? Maybe the Niners are doing it, right? So who's the name that you aren't worried about that's going to be the guy that's the threat? That's where I'm thinking here, and we just got to play good, sound football all around. We can't just overlook anybody. There's no reason for us to overlook and be like, that guy's not a threat. We can play him soft. No. Play
Right.
everybody just as aggressive all the way across the ball.
And you talked about a 10-year vet. 49ers got one on their own on the flip side. Eric Kendricks signed last week.
Welcome back,
or
baby.
2 weeks ago. Had the tight calf, but he's good to go. And he may play tomorrow night. I think this is going to be a big addition for the 49ers. It's about as good of a linebacker that you could sign off the street at this point in the season. That's my take. I don't know if you'd find anybody more capable out there than Eric Kendricks. Very capable starter. Played well last year in Dallas, in my opinion, well enough. So is he better than Fred Warner? No. Is he as good as Tatum Bethune? Who knows? But I can definitely tell you he's better than Curtis Robinson immediately. So I think that's going to be a nice plus for the Niners.
I don't know that he's better than him, man. Listen,
Than Curtis
he's got
Robinson?
a ton. Yeah, hear me out. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds blasphemous, right? He's got a ton of tackles in his last couple of years playing because he's the guy that's been targeted. Like, he's the guy that they're running at and running towards and throwing at and throwing towards. I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know, and I don't.
That's Curtis Robinson, but he doesn't even make the tackle. So I will at least take the tackles because Curtis Robinson is getting targeted over and over again. He's not even in position to make the tackle.
And now you're cooking. Now you're cooking. Now I like what you're saying.
At least Kendricks could make the stop after giving up the 10-yard completion. I'd rather you do that than it turn into a 25, 30-yard completion because now everybody's chasing this line or this tight end or something. So I don't know. I'm not counting on him to be the next Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman tandem. But like I said, at this point in the season, I think it's as good of an addition that you can get off the street as there is. And Mark Cisneros, he had a verbal agreement to sign here last year. And then when he found out that Mike Zimmer, his former DC, when he was with Minnesota, was signing in Dallas, he kind of backed out of the agreement and went to go play with Dallas for his old DC. So we got a super chat from our guy, Sean. Thank you very much, Sean. Guys, our defense is sus at best. At best. Saleh is great, except he plays soft Seattle D all the time. Oh, yeah, but he's great. Shit, and we can't run.
So this is what I wanted to ask you guys about. The Niners' run game has been a big disappointment this year. Zach, off the top of your head, do you think the Niners have more or less than 2,000 total rushing yards this year?
Less.
More or less than 1,500 rushing yards this year?
I still say less because Christian McCaffrey has like 90% of the carries, and he's at, 800? And I don't think Brian Robinson has 700.
That's terrible, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not good for a team in the final 3 games of the season. That's not good. I mean, I don't care what team you are. And so I do like the end of what he's saying. We can't run, right? When we have to put the game away, the Niners aren't that
passing.
team anymore. Yeah, we're passing the ball. It's like I don't get it. And if you were to step back and look at the Niners' weaknesses, a lot of people would have said that the offensive line is one of the weaknesses, but we're a passing team. We're more of a passing team right now, and I don't quite understand it. Is it because it's Brock Purdy's 4th year in the system, right? Shanahan's never had a guy be his starting quarterback this many years in a row. No matter where Shanahan has been, you could pick the team, pick the spot. He's never had a guy that has been the guy under center for this many consecutive seasons. It's the first time we're seeing it. And I'm not disappointed in the productivity we're getting right now, right? You go back and look at the scores the Niners are putting up right now. Other than that Panthers game where we only put up 20, that was 4 turnovers in that game. Even if you just settle for field goals in that game, that's 32 points instead of those 4 turnovers. Just count them all as field goals instead of turnovers. That's 32 points in that game. The Niners are on a tear. We got a couple 40-point games. We got a 37-point game, right? Like 26-point game. The Niners are actually doing good when it comes to scoring with Brock Purdy. So I think that the identity of this offense has kind of changed, and people are so focused on stopping the run, and they're doing it successfully, that it's leaving them susceptible to the passing attack. But now all of a sudden, there's no Brandon Ayuk. Now all of a sudden, there's no Debo. Now all of a sudden, there's no Ricky Pearsall, right? Is that passing game still the same threat that it is when you have those names here right? Or is it just the CMC game? Is it just the CMC game?
So,
Like,
sorry, you done? I don't want to cut you off.
yeah, no, I'm done. Good.
I really wish they would use Brian Robinson more in the running game because I actually do think he at this stage he's a better pure running back than Christian McCaffrey is. Christian McCaffrey is a better weapon, right? And you could do so much more with him. And I think he's so smart and I think he understands the game so well. It's hard to take him off the field. But there's no rule that says you can't have them both out there at the same time. There's no rule that says you can't line them both up in the backfield and motion Christian McCaffrey out into the slot or up top and leave Brian Robinson in the backfield. I wish they would use him more because every time I see Brian Robinson, he's effective. He's effective. I think he's averaging 5 yards a carry on the season. And for some reason, he gets 8 carries a game, if that. So, I don't know. When have they had a back this effective that they just don't use? I know Kyle Shanahan likes to get in his stints, but since he's got McCaffrey, everybody else... I mean, Isaac Guerrero was starting a lot of games last year. He's not even active. If he is active, he's only on special teams. They drafted a running back in the 4th round, if I remember, 4th, 5th round. He hasn't been active once. Like, he only uses McCaffrey, and then when McCaffrey needs a break, then he gets Brian Robinson in. I wish he would use him more because I think that would open up this running game a lot more if they did.
The 49ers have 1,400 rushing yards on the season.
Damn.
1,400 rushing yards on the season, but the 49ers have a total of 3,593 passing yards on the season. I don't know that it's been that big of a margin, or I don't know what you want to call it. Like
disparity.
But yeah, like that gap is 1,100 plus yards. Like it's closer to 1,200 yards than it is 1,100 yards. I don't know the last time I've seen that here. It's almost like the run game is an afterthought. Mm-hmm. And you talk about how Brian Robinson is carrying it and things of that nature, right? It's like Brian Robinson, you're absolutely right. He's at 4.3 yards a carry, right? Like, give him some more hops.
Yes.
Give him some more opportunities. I think he could make something happen if he got it. Here we are at week 13. No, I'm sorry. Week 13. God, listen to me. Week 16. He's got 81 attempts on the year. That's it. Christian McCaffrey is averaging 3.6. Robinson's averaging 4.3. Neither of them have a long over 20 yards. Neither of them. One's got 19, one's got 20. That's it. Our longest rush of the entire season came from Brock Purdy, and it was 26 yards.
You said Robinson has 81 carries? Shit. Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Oh, shit. I was on mute. My bad.
Okay. My internet tripped out for a second, but you said he had 81 carries?
Yeah, so he's got 81 carries on the entire year.
And we've played 14 games, so he's averaging 5.7 carries a game. That's it.
Bro. That's it.
And he's effective.
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey's at 3.6 yards an attempt. Brian Robinson's at 4.3. Here's the scary thing. If you told me the Niners had Christian McCaffrey and Brian Robinson, which one of those guys would have the team's longest carry on the season? All right, you can coin toss it. It's neither. You know who has the longest carry of the season for the 49ers?
Purdy.
Brock fucking Purdy, 26 yards, and he got that last game.
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
Yeah.
That's not the explosive runs was Christian McCaffrey's bread and butter the year before that, right? Like Christian McCaffrey had 50-yarders, 60-yarders. Like he had them. It's not happening, bro. It's not happening at all. So.
Sean says, come on, Zach. Kyle hasn't done committee since our first Super Bowl. Not you. I'm tired of hearing Kyle can use both. The idiot never does. Runs his breaks until he grinds the rotors down. Pathetic. And he's talked about this. He said it's hard to get McCaffrey out of the game. You know, even McCaffrey doesn't want to come out. So,
but leave him in and use a 2-back set, Kyle.
Agree.
Like what? Like you said, it's not a crime. I swear to God, it's not illegal.
Yeah.
I swear to you, it's not illegal. Take your tight ends out. Do so. Do you know how defenses would scramble if you start with 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, right? That's 4. Your quarterback, that's 5. 5 offensive linemen, and George Kittle.
Yeah.
You start with both of your running backs in the backfield, and then you spread Christian McCaffrey out wide. Do you understand how dangerous of a formation that is? Do you understand what you're doing if you have your top wide receivers on the outside, George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey, and you still got a guy like Brian fucking Robinson back there? Yeah. Teams will be losing their shit. He's saving it for the playoffs. We clinch. He's saving it for the playoffs. We're going to see it. You watch. You watch.
I mean,
He's
we
saving
better.
it for the playoffs.
All right. I kind of lost track of time, so let's start. We still got to get through the 49ers offense versus the Colts defense, and then our predictions.
All right.
49ers offense has been on a tear. I mean, to be honest with you, since Brock Purdy has returned, they've been like the most efficient offense, and they're very good on third down, very good on fourth downs. How do you think the 49ers offense will attack this Colts defense? Are you concerned with their ability to move the ball on Indy?
No, I'm not concerned with their ability to move the ball. I think you got to get outside. You got to get away from Buckner. Not that he's like some game wrecker or anything like that. His first game back, I think he's going to have a little bit of rust on him. But you also want to respect him. Buckner played here for far too long. He knows the system. You got to kind of respect what he knows and his knowledge of the system. So let's get outside the tackles a little bit here, or maybe not even necessarily outside the tackles, but get in between the guard and the tackle. Like if you're going to run it in between the tackles, that's where it's got to be. You can't run it up the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to stop that in this game here. I think that the Niners are going to be able to move the ball effectively and efficiently. However, I think the Colts defense will tighten up inside the red zone, inside the goal line area. I think they're going to be a little bit tougher than what we expect, especially with Pearsall being out. It's going to give them the free will to zone in on 2 guys, George Kittle and Llewellyn Jennings. Now you're looking for someone else to step up in that tight area, and I just don't know if we have the numbers to do it. So I think that we can score. I think we can move the ball between the 20s. Eddie Pinheiro, if you guys got him in fantasy, if you're in the postseason in your fantasy league, start Eddie Pinheiro if it's not too late. I think we'll put up some points. It's just a matter of how this offense is going to look. The passing game terrifies me in this game. I'm not going to lie to you. That's where I'm scared right now.
Why? In what sense? The 49ers passing game?
Yeah. We're talking about our offense versus their defense, right?
You think that their passing defense is a good match, or just
I think
what
the
we're going up against?
lack of Pearsall, Brock Purdy's lack of chemistry with Bourne, that terrifies me. That tells me that your 3 main targets are going to be CMC, George Kittle, and Llewellyn Jennings. You can't win games like that, especially if George Kittle is asked to stay back and pass protect. You're not going to win games like that. That terrifies me. There needs to be another threat on the outside that the team can go to. I don't know that we possess it in this game. It's scary.
So I think that the Colts obviously have, Latu, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, the first-round pick, pass rusher, and he has been solid for them. I'm trying to pull up his stats here, but I think that the way that their defense is, I don't see them like wrecking shop. Maybe I'm going to sound like an idiot come tomorrow night. Let's see, sacks. He's got 6.5 sacks on the season. Latu in 13 games. So he's their top edge rusher. They do get Buckner back in the middle. I'm not sure they're going to need George Kittle to stay in and block as much. We just talked about the offensive line and how it's improving, how it's one of the more surprising aspects of this season for the 49ers. And I actually think that this is going to be a big Kittle game because I don't know of if the Colts have the linebacker talent to match with George Kittle. Sauce Gardner's out. I don't think they do. Do you think they do?
You know who Zaire Franklin is?
I do, and I don't think he's a match for George Kittle. I think George Kittle wins that probably 9 times out of 10. So Zaire Franklin's good talent, great linebacker, but I think George Kittle's better. So I think that they're going to take care of business in the passing game. Now, it is crazy to think about with Ricky Pearsall being out. If you would have told us at this time last year, Debo's in Washington, Ayuk still isn't back, and Pearsall has played a handful of games this season at most, and they have a great passing game, and they're 10-4. Like, nobody would have believed you. But this is the 49ers passing game. Like, I feel like they've adapted to play without Ricky, unfortunately, because they've had to. Juwan has taken a step up. Hopefully they continue to get KB involved. Demarcus Robinson looked good last week in the first quarter, and then he just didn't get another target. So I think that they can win these games, win this game with Juwan and DeMarcus on the outside. And I think that they're also going to get Juice involved because I think that's kind of the mismatch for them on offense. And Brock Purdy using his legs, which he has a lot more the last 2 weeks. So that's what I'm excited to see. I think that's going to be a tough outing, right? They held Seattle to 6 field goals. But at the end of the day, when push came to shove and they needed to get a stop, they let Seattle drive right down the field and kick a field goal. Now, it was like a 60-yarder, to be fair. It's not like they got down to the 20. But still, they when push came to shove and it was, time to put up or shut up, that defense caved. So I think the 49ers passing offense is too much for this Colts defense to handle. And let me just add this for context. The 49ers have won, 5 in a row? 4 in a row? 4 in a row? Right?
5.
5 in a row?
I'm pretty sure it's 5.
The Colts have lost after starting 8-2. They lost to the Chiefs, they lost to the Texans, they lost to the Jags, and they lost to the Seahawks. 4 L's in a row.
4 in a row. 4 in a row for the Niners. My bad.
So they're each coming in on 4-game streaks, just opposite. Niners are 4-game winning streak, Colts on a 4-game losing streak.
I wish you never said that to me. Oh, my God. Now I'm thinking we're going to lose again. I wish you never said that to me. Oh, this kicker is 100% when he's kicking from here, this distance. Oh, I can't believe you just said that, Zach. Why did you just do that, bro? No,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because that team was completely different, right? You had Daniel Jones starting. It's a completely different team. Completely different team.
Now, I will say this about, the passing game. George Kittle versus Zaire Franklin is a benefit for the Niners. But here's the thing. Zaire Franklin doesn't miss tackles. I think George Kittle has a special ability to make the catch and then make the linebacker miss right away, right? He's going to catch the passes thrown to him, especially if Zaire Franklin's the one in coverage. Zaire's not a good pass defender. He is a sure tackler, though. Mm-hmm. And that's what my concern. So if I made it sound like I'm worried about him, in coverage, he's going to lock down George Kittle. That's not what I meant at all. I think George Kittle's special when he can make the first guy miss and then start eking out across the field and doing a couple of more things. That's when I think George Kittle is special. I just don't know that he gets that opportunity against a guy like Zaire Franklin. I think that he's more of a sure tackler. But back to what you were saying, I do like what you're saying. I think that there are some things that we could take advantage of on the offensive side of the ball. It's not it's not in the run game at all. It's going to come in the air. Mm-hmm. Let's be very clear. With or without DeForest Buckner, the Colts were just fine against the run. They were absolutely fine against the run. They didn't lose anything. They didn't drop off at all in productivity on the defensive side of the ball, stopping the run. They're just fine. So we have to make sure that we take advantage of second and third downs and convert. And the Niners have been one of the better converting teams, like you said, the last 4 games here. We just got to stay with it. That's all. We got to stay with it.
Right. I agree. And last week against Seattle, Seattle's leading rusher, Zach Charbonnet, 8 carries for 31 yards. This was a very weird game. I'm not particularly impressed by Seattle's running game to begin with. They seem to be in love with Charbonnet for some reason when I think Kenneth Walker's the better back. But regardless, I don't think that that is something to write home about if you bottle up that running game. So we'll see.
I think the reason Seattle didn't run the ball a whole bunch is because the game was relatively close, mm-hmm. and their run defense is the strength. So in a close game, you want to attack the weakness. You can pass the ball. You can pass the ball in this Colts defense, and that's what they did. How many pass attempts did Darnold have against him? Because
36.
That's really right, and you don't want Sam Darnold throwing the ball almost 40 times in the game. No one does. I don't care how much you like Sam Darnold. I don't care if you were a big Sam Darnold fan when he was coming out of college. You don't want that guy passing the ball almost 40 times in the NFL. Never. If he does that 3 times, he's going to turn it over. Like, you don't want that. So that's just where it is. And they chose that option. They did that by design. So, and they still got the win. So, yeah, you can definitely pass the ball. And I think that our offensive scheme is better in the pass game than what Seattle's is. So that's a good. Yeah. That's a sign for us. That's a step in the right direction. So plus Niners in the pass game.
Yeah. Filthy casuals. Seattle got 171 rushing yards on the Rams. I think that says more about the Rams than Seattle, to be honest with you. The Rams, I don't think they have a strong running defense.
Well, so if you get past the defensive line, you're good.
Yeah. That
defensive line is good. Let me be very clear. You try running up the middle on that defensive line, they know how to shove two offensive linemen into each other and jam that hole, Pauls. But if you get past that defensive line, that secondary, you can run on that secondary. They don't like to tackle. They're soft back there. They're not physical. You can run those guys over. You can make them miss tackles. So that's what that's all about.
All right, let's get into our predictions. I got to wrap up here, have some dinner. Defensive MVP prediction, Mike. There was one topic that we're not going to get to, unfortunately, because I did want to
You
get
don't
to
want to do it?
Nah, I'm not going to have time. We'll save it for tomorrow. If we're going live tomorrow, I don't know.
I want to go live tomorrow. Are we going to do it?
Maybe
I was planning on going live,
yeah.
But if we could do it, okay, yeah, all right, I'm with that. I like that. Okay, all right. All right, my defensive MVP. I'm going to go with Tatum Bethune making his return. I hope I'm not taking yours. I hope I'm not taking yours. This is going to be a huge game for the linebacker position, man. Jonathan Taylor's going to go out there. He's going to try to do his thing. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think that's going to be their bread and butter in this game. While I started the entire show saying that we're going to get Phillip Rivers and an aspect of the game that we didn't see last week, that's going to be more experimental to see if they can hold on and grasp a playoff shot, right? Like that's what they're hoping for. They have to see how he develops, but it's not going to be their bread and butter. Right, I don't want the Niners to be susceptible to those pass attacks, but they know who the best player is on their offense, and that's where it starts and that's where it finishes. I got Tatum Bethune leading the team with tackles. I'm going to say something crazy: 12 tackles for Tatum Bethune with 1 forced fumble. He's going to be my defensive player of the game.
Hey, there you go. I love that. I'm going to go, and this may be even crazier, with Bryce Huff. I think Bryce Huff, with the return of Sam Okuwanu, Gross Matos, if he plays, that speed is like the kryptonite for Phillip Rivers. So I think even though the game plan is clearly going to be to get the ball out quickly, I think at least twice Bryce Huff is going to get home on Phillip Rivers. And I think he's going to have 2 sacks tomorrow night because that speed is deadly. And the Colts have 2 backup tackles in. I think they could take advantage. So it's a lot to ask of Bryce Huff. He hasn't been able to really get back to shape after the early season success. But I think with the return of Sam Okuwanu, Yetur Gross-Matos, give me Bryce Huff 2 sacks. Offensive prediction, Mike. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I like that. I like that a lot. That was a really good prediction. I like that.
Thank you.
And what I like more about it was it wasn't like some crazy, he's going to have 4 sacks in this game against Phillip Rivers, who's a statue, right? It was like, give me 2 sacks, but a lot of pressures, consistent pressure. Like, I like that. Yeah. That's good. Offensive player of the game for me, who do I think you're going to say? All right, I think you're going to say him. I am going to go with Kendrick Bourne. I'm going to go with Kendrick Bourne. I talked about how George Kittle is probably going to get a lot of targets. Talked about how with no Ricky Pearsall, they're probably going to lean towards Juwan Jennings in the passing game. And obviously there's Christian McCaffrey. I highlighted somebody on their offense because no one else is talking about the 10-year veteran. Not that Kendrick Bourne's been in the league for 10 years, but it's got to be the forgotten guy. I said that. When do we get a chance to do that? Last time Kendrick Bourne was a forgotten guy, he did it not once but twice in a row, 140-plus yards. It's time for him to come back. Not only is he going to earn his bonus, he's going to earn it with a bullet. I got Kendrick Bourne with 7 catches, 102 yards, and a touchdown in this game. It's going to be Kendrick Bourne time, not Jamal Jennings. They're going to take Jennings away, guys. I'm sorry.
Let's go. Sean, member for 16 months. The Steel Curtain, the Legion of Boom, and Levi's Doormat. Come clean your cleats on our D. Any really not being negative. I remember Mike won the Super Bowl. That D was horrible, then ran the table. Not us.
He's talking about Mike Shanahan. I think. I hope that's what he's talking, because I don't know otherwise I don't know what he's talking about. But listen, Sean, the truth of the matter is this, right? The playoffs haven't gotten here. There is no dominant juggernaut in the NFC or the AFC. Yeah. If there's ever a season to say, why not us? It's this season. There's no team heading into the postseason that is as battle-tested, as depth-tested as the 49ers are. And I get it, right? I get it. You have every single reason to be cynical. You have every reason to be pessimistic when it comes to this 49ers team, but they just keep finding ways to win. They keep finding ways to improve. We are trending in the right direction. People can sit here and try to blame it on the schedule. They can try to chalk it up to whatever they want to chalk it up to. The Niners are getting better game after game. I was the guy in that Panthers game saying bench Brock Purdy. I was done with Brock Purdy. Bro, I have eaten 3 13-size sneakers since then. My foot has been in my mouth the entire time since that moment. Brock Purdy has not only bounced back, he has answered the bell and shown why he is the starter here and not a guy like Mac Jones. This is the season of overcoming. This is the season of 13, man. Unlucky number.
That's right.
Like, let's do it, man. Let's run it up.
That's right. Mac Jones, by the way, the offense was scoring 22 points a game. With Purdy, it's up to 27. So
come on, bro.
Clear difference.
Come on, bro. Let's go.
Offensive player for me. This is tough. I actually wasn't sure between two, but I talked about him earlier. I got to go with Kittle.
I knew it. That's who I had for you.
Kittle's going to have 6 receptions for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think he's going to go
That's 20 yards of reception, bro.
That's right. I think he's going to
go
go
off.
Tutties.
And 2 tutties.
Think of the Colts. You think of Pat McAfee. You think of the boys. I think that's George Kittle's vibe. I think he's going to just return that. It's where he got his first career touchdown in Lucas Oil Stadium. So he's returning there. Monday Night Football, lights are bright. I think Kittle is going to be the X factor for the 49ers tomorrow night. And he's going to take advantage and really prove that he's the best tight end in the league when you have an up-and-coming one on the other side, Tyler Warren. So give me Kittle, 6 for 125, 2 TDs. All right, Mike, final score predictions. We'll see how this show went for you and your feeling on this game.
All right, guys, I'm going to take the Colts to win it. Let me just go ahead and say that right now. I got the Colts winning this game. I have the Niners 24. Niners 24, Colts 27. That's my score prediction. Mainly because I don't want to lose to an NFC opponent, and I predicted 5 the next 6. I was wrong. We have not won 5 in a row. We've won 4 in a row. So my apologies. This is the game that we lose. And to me, we locked up the playoff spot. I'm going to blame it on the team being happy and excited and overlooking the Colts after we won the division. We already got our T-shirts and blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to blame it on all those negative things. And Phillip Rivers just surprises us. He's got a couple of extra wrinkles in this game. Yeah, that's where I'm going. 24-27.
24-20. You think, wow, defense is going to give up 27 points to the Colts, to the Phillip Rivers-led Colts? Okay.
And Jonathan Taylor. Please don't ignore Jonathan Taylor.
And Jonathan Taylor. Okay. I got the Niners winning this one. I got the Niners winning this game. And I think it's going to be a little close. I have Niners 27, Colts 23. So I think the Colts cover because the Niners are favored by 5.5. But I think the Niners still take care of business on the road. Bright lights. I think Purdy redeems himself on Monday Night Football. Knocking on wood just in case, but I think he takes care of business. By the way, he still took care of business last Monday night against the Panthers. Second half was good. First half wasn't. So they still took care of business and still got the win. That's all that matters. So
I just want to say this. That is not a gut feeling.
Okay, that's even better.
My gut is 100% on the year. That is not a gut feeling. That was all mental. That is me convincing myself it is time to lose. I don't want us to win out. I started the show with all that information, so that is not a gut feeling. I'm not going to tell you guys what my gut feels until we are live tomorrow with Zach. If Zach's not on the show, I'm not telling you guys what my gut says. If we're not doing a show together, I'm not telling you guys. So
all right.
You guys put the pressure on Zach. Put the comments in there. All right, he said, I'm reporting you. That's fine. Report me. But I'll tell you guys what my gut feels, which has been 100% all year long for every single game. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right, well, that's going to do it for tonight's show, guys. It is Christmas week, so thank you guys for tuning in. Short week. Hopefully you guys go take care of business. We got another super chat from our guy, Sean. What do you think about iPuke's reckless driving? Sean, thank you for the contribution. Unfortunately, we got to wrap up. That was a topic for tonight. We didn't get to it, but we will get to it tomorrow night. I promise you. So come back, and I guarantee we'll cover it because it's very serious.
Yeah.
I think we do need to talk
We'll
about
actually start the show with that. We'll start the show with it.
Yeah. Mike, please let the folks know where to find premium 49ers content. I'm sure they already
Come on,
know.
baby. Let's go.
Please
We're going to be there live tomorrow night. I know you guys got the ESPN, Disney Plus, blah, 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 blah. But you guys, listen, they cost a lot more than what we do. Come on over to patreon.com/NB9ERS and subscribe, guys. You get the game, HD, full screen experience, and you get my commentary. All right. Sometimes I'm joined by NY to the Bay. Sometimes I'm joined by Tony. Sometimes it's both of them. Right. Hell, maybe I'll even send Zach the link and all of us will be in there at the same time. All right. But come on down, patreon.com/NB9ERS. Come on by, subscribe, $5 tier and higher, or just buy the game. Just buy the game. That's all it's going to take, okay? We'll see you guys there. We're going to have a pregame show tomorrow. We're going to go live with Zach and those guys. We got a lot of stuff in store for you before the game even starts, so make sure you guys are subscribed, all right? Nothing But Niners on YouTube. And for those of you who are already on Nothing But Niners on YouTube, head on over and show some love to my guys on 49ers Hive. They do a lot of hard work, good work over there throughout the week. 49ers Hive on YouTube. Subscribe over there as well.
Appreciate it. That's going to do it for tonight's show, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great night. Have a great week. Christmas is here. The 49ers clinched a playoff spot. Christmas came early for us this year. So, Mike, do me a favor. Carry us out.
Yeah, man, listen, I know that Matt wasn't here to spread his normal Christmas cheer. Is Matt the Scrooge of the group? Is he like the Bahumba guy?
I guess so,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know, right? We didn't get a little bit of that Scrooge stuff, but we have one more opportunity to get him here before Christmas. So fingers crossed we can get a little bit of that Scrooge flavoring in here. All right, but in the meantime, on behalf of Matt, on behalf of myself, and our great host, Zach, man, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay faithful. Let's get ready to rock out. And as always, go Niners.